Should be live now. What is up, Tailosive Tech? Or what do we turn up to? Yeah, that should be fine. What is up, Tailosive Tech and Apple Sheep everywhere? It's your average 10 o'clock a.m. Tuesday Tailosive live stream on the Tech channel. Looking forward to all your guys' questions today. And it's an exciting one. First of all, we've got the vast array of the Google Home Minis, all right? We've got them collected now. That's why it was in the thumbnail. However, I probably would have changed the thumbnail if I knew the news that'd be dropping this morning. That exciting news, for those of you who haven't heard yet, iMac Pro has a release date, and it's only in 2 days. You can buy the iMac Pro this Thursday, December 14th, which I'm doing it. I've committed. I've saved my money very carefully. I've put it away just right. And I believe I can afford the very base model. Not going to get the 10 core, not going to get the 128 gigs of RAM. I don't need it, honestly. I don't. Already the base model is probably more. But I wanted to bring these out, by the way, because the fan who anonymously donated for them, I wanted him to know that, like, yes, I got them. I didn't just take your money. They're here. We've been using them. Usually we have one here that's in the tech room. We have one here that's in the gaming room and one here that's in the lobby. However, the other bit of exciting news is that the Google Home Max is out for delivery right now. It could get here at any moment. So the Google Home Max could be here at any moment, in which case I can set that up. Sadly, I'm not MKBHD, so I don't get all these products early. He got the iMac Pro a week early, over a week early, because he can't buy it yet. So more like 10 days early. And he also got the Google Home Max early. So good for him. I'm excited for him. But yeah, this has been interesting, having so many Google Home Minis. We finally figured out how to get the music to play from all of them. You have to create a group, but sometimes it doesn't work. But it's interesting to have the whole office play music from every room. And I'm very excited to test out the Google Home Max's audio performance. Anyway, we got our first donation already. It says, consider all my super chats for a Pixel 2 so you can have the perfect phone. No. So are you saying over time you're going to super chat, what, $850? I mean, if you do that, I'll get it and say, like, every single donation is another. But, like, keep in mind, though, like, YouTube takes a piece out of every super chat, so I'd still be losing money on it. But anyway, please throw these Google Home Mini devices away. They're so cheap because they record your every word and sell that data. That's how they make the profit. That's why I recommend don't use the mute switch. Literally unplug them. Like right now, they have no power. Like I can, okay Google, nothing. Sorry if I set up your devices, but yeah, I'm excited. We got the black, gray version of the Google Home Max, and it's been out for delivery. I've been tracking the order since 9 a.m. So for the past hour, which means that it could get here at any time. And then I'm not sure if we can do a live unboxing of it. I'll probably just film it because it's a bit more complicated, and I'd like to focus on just the live stream today. Who knows? Maybe that can be a goal. If we reach 200 in Super Chat or something, then sure, unbox it live. Because I was hoping to make an actual video out of that, and if I unbox it live, then I have to think something else to make a video on. But I would prefer to unbox it. But of course, if you guys really want it, then we can do that. I remember you saying 1 month ago that you are not going to get the Mini, but look at you now. I know. This is what I mean. I mean, like, I'm a man of my word, which what I mean by that is if you guys donate a certain amount of money for a certain product and ask me to review it, I will get it. And that's what the result of this is a fan donating and saying, no, get a Home Mini or get several Home Minis and smart home appliances, which I have done. We've got smart lights now in the hall. We've got them in the lobby. We've got them outside. They changed color. It's interesting, and I'm going to give a complete review once we have the Max and all these Minis and all the smart accessories plugged in. Then we're going to do a smart home / Google ecosystem review. Wow, someone says, I'm getting the iMac Pro as well, and seeing a Mac with Radeon Vega graphics is insane. It looks insane. Yeah, it's very exciting to see people finally have their hands on it. I watched the Jonathan Morrison video and MKBHD's video already. Very excited. I'm not sure. They didn't specify on the Apple Store website if it's... Does the order start at midnight? They just said the 14th, December 14th. That's all they said. $2.10 and you unbox it live? No, that's not what I agreed to. Well, first of all, I don't know if it's going to get here during the live stream. It could take, hours to get here. We don't know. And second of all, I'm hoping to make a whole edited video on it. That's what I'd like to do. If you guys want to substitute that, then we can do the super chat goal, which is still 200. But of course, don't do that. Just save your money, and we'll unbox the Google Home Max today, and you'll see it tomorrow. It'll be cool. It's okay. It won't be high in demand. No need to stay up to midnight. I'm staying up till midnight regardless. Partly because that's just like what I do when an Apple product's about to come out, and I'm curious if it'll be available in stores on the 14th, or you'll get it shipped to the store after the 14th. Like, I don't know when or how. I don't want it shipped to me. Getting things shipped here is a nightmare. Every single time we order something, they're days late on end because, for those of you who don't know, our office is very hard to find. Even if you know our address, it's hard to find. Sound working? I hope so. Can you guys hear me? I hope you can hear me. Okay. People have a very hard time finding me. And second of all, because we're a business address, you cannot drop off, what do they say? Orders start 5:30 GMT. Oh, wait. What is that in Pacific time? When do the orders start Pacific time? That's what I need to know. And I don't know where you get this information, but people just know this stuff. Because we're a business address, if the door is locked, which it always is, then they can't drop off our packages at the door. So we have to just leave them unlocked, which means that we can't not be here. So it's annoying. They sent me an email. Really, I got the email too. Is that what it says in the fine print? Do I think the Home Minis are cute? They're kind of cute. I don't know how else to describe that. It's bizarre, but yeah, they kind of have a cuteness to them. I'll check my email too, just to be safe. Like $60 US. Yeah. Oh, Nick's donating, says 2X prediction. So we're talking Project 2X again. Hiring Nathan and another editor, 2X, full-time to finish the TCU Part 2 by the end of February. Interesting. Someone's got theories, I see. Some people getting a little close to those theories, I see. I thought we were talking about secrets. Anyway, what's that case on your iPhone 10? It's the blue cobalt silicone case. But thank you for your donation, by the way. But yeah, this is the blue cobalt for iPhone 10. Apple silicone case. It's not a third party. Add the event to the email to your calendar. It's pointless. I know. I know when it's going to happen. I'm going to be up at midnight tomorrow, regardless. Though it doesn't say on my email when the orders go live, so I'll likely be up at that point anyway. Drew, you are bending too much towards Google lately. I don't like that. Well, what I'm against is the Pixel team. Google as a whole, I'm not entirely a fan of, but what I wanted people to know is that when I come back at the Google Home Mini and the Google Assistant and the experience, they're not going to have the excuse that I don't have the right stuff. A lot of the complaints with my last Google Home Mini review was that I was only buying one of them, and you're supposed to have smart appliances, and you're supposed to have lots of them, and you have them in different rooms, and that's the true experience. So look at it this way. Attacking the cheapest Google product isn't enough. You got to attack all of them at once. And second of all, Apple has no competitor to this, so keep that in mind. Like, it's not like there's a HomePod Mini I could be buying, and I'm not buying that over this. Currently, Apple doesn't even have the HomePod ready. So right now, whether you're buying Amazon products or Google speakers, it is perfectly compatible with your Apple ecosystem. It does not disqualify anything in your Apple ecosystem. The Google Home app works on iPhone 10. It's optimized now. It works on iPad. And I'll give you a brief review now. I don't want people thinking that because I'm getting all these things, I'm suddenly very okay with them and I love them. I'm not totally sold on it because I'm not, remember, a fan sent me the money to buy these, which I did. And I was curious about the Home Max because I want to compare it to the HomePod when that's available. And I want to experience this Google smart home to the max. To the max, yeah. That's what I'm going for, but that by no means that I'm going to give this positive feedback. If I were to give you a little bit of a preview on this review, it's that This is very complicated. To make your home very simple and smart, you have to do a lot of work and you have to make things very complicated. Light bulbs have passwords now. Light bulbs have to have IDs and email accounts, and uh, it's hundreds of dollars. It's not $30. If you want these in every room, if you want a smart bulb, one, it's like $30 to $40. If you want it to change color, if you want it to be a single color, make it $15. Sometimes Google doesn't understand you. Sometimes the Google Assistant will go off regardless. Um, Even when you don't say the magic words "Hello Google" or you don't say anything, she'll just go off. And sometimes you'll be like, "Turn on the outside lights." Nothing. Turn on the outside lights. Nothing. The third time you say it, though, she'll get it right. And it's the Google Assistant is by far the smartest digital assistant. That's not saying much because there's a lot of things she doesn't know how to do, and it's frustrating because she can articulate what she doesn't know how to do. It'll be like, turn on the outside lights and play the Rooster Teeth podcast. And she'll go, sorry, I can't turn on the outside lights and play the Rooster Teeth podcast yet. It's like, well, you just dictated that, she can do these things separately. But anyway, we had a donation here. Are you going to CES? If so, let's meet up. I currently have no plans to. There's a lot of things. It's very hard to leave at the office right now. But no, there's no plans to. I'm not sure yet. I'm looking at the super chat. Relax. Sometimes I want to focus on a thought or an idea I have. If every time there was a super chat I had to read it immediately, it would. I could not really go deep into anything because sometimes there's two super chats right next to each other. What is your setup for live streaming? Well, you can see a lot of it. Obviously, we're streaming from the MacBook Pro. There's a Zoom H6 microphone plugged into the Quack Quack adapter. And into that adapter, we have the Elgato game capture, which is really meant for live streaming like video games and like console stuff. But what I've discovered it's good for is I have a HDMI cable plugged into my Lumix camera, which allows me to zoom in. It allows the footage to look a lot better than a typical webcam live stream or a typical smartphone live stream. That's plugged in. That's the other cable that you're seeing go out of the adapter. So you're seeing the live view of a DSLR camera, Lumix FZ1000, and then of course the zoom plugged in, and then via Elgato game capture software, we're live streaming this whole thing. And it works pretty well. I've done a lot of experiments with live streaming, and this one seems to work the best. Nothing's perfect. It'll never be perfect, but this works the best for now. Yu Hirasawa super chatted, says, you consider getting 2 HomePods. Phil recommends. I would love to get many HomePods. I'm getting a black HomePod because you guys voted on it. We went on Twitter, and I asked what color you guys preferred, and it was overwhelming space gray. So this is why you should follow me on Twitter, is you get to decide certain things. I would love to consider it. They are pricey, though. I mean, $350. I'm excited for the HomePod. I'm getting one regardless. It's not a if, but if I suppose we could maybe someday do a live stream for like a second HomePod fundraiser, and we'll get both colors. Can you super chat on mobile? You can. You have to use a browser. You can't use the YouTube app. But yeah, I would love to get as many HomePods as possible. I'd really wish Apple would make a competitor to this. Obviously not as cheap because they're Apple, but I would like a HomePod Mini that's, I don't know, like $100 and maybe sounds a little bit better than this. That would be neat. How is your battery life on iPhone 10 with heavy use? It's been great, honestly. I'm trying to think if I've ever killed my battery. And I film with it, I live stream with it. Maybe once I ran the battery all the way dead, but very rarely. I usually have my mobile wireless charger with me anyway. If you're on Android, you can super chat on the app, but I'm assuming that most of my audience is not on Android. I know that some of you are, but I'm saying we're probably a primarily Apple sheep audience. So I assume people asking how to super chat on mobile are probably asking because they're not on Android and there's not a little money icon. So yeah, if you're on Android, you're not asking that question. That's why I'm answering those people. Live HomePod unboxing would be great. That would be kind of fun. This is the first product line of that type with Apple before, so I'm not sure how it'll be packaged. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm curious. So how come, like, other YouTubers got the iMac Pro early, but they didn't unbox it? Like, Why not film the unboxing? That's like the most exciting part. What do I do if I don't have enough money for iPhone 10? You work. You work your butt off. Make enough money for it. If you want it. If it's not useful to you, then just buy something else. When you gonna get better studio lights, Drew? When that would make a huge difference on people's opinion on videos. I mean, I read a lot of comments, and that's not a common one. There's people who want better lighting, but that doesn't convey my opinion any better. First of all, I have fairly bright lights as of now. I'm not using just room lights. These are actual studio lights. They're not super crazy, but they're pretty good. And if I made my videos really, really bright, usually when I make changes to the videos, everyone starts complaining. So I'd probably get a bunch of complaints to say it's too bright now. And yeah, as people mentioned in the chat, we can see you just fine. So I don't want you to watch my videos because of the great lighting. That's not the point. It's about my thoughts and opinions, and I'm hoping to get your thoughts and opinions on the matter too. And if I'm trying to kind of have a dialogue with you, we're trying to have like a debate. I'm curious of your thoughts on the topic at hand. So I'm talking about the iMac Pro. I want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about lighting's weird. You could use better lighting. It's like, when can I not use better lighting? Everyone could use better lighting. Did you know the Nintendo Switch just got 100,000 sales so far? I really want you to get one. I know you don't, though. The problem is, yeah, first of all, 100,000 sales. I don't know if that's probably for consoles, that's a big moment. But thank you, Lucas. But at least in Apple sales, that's probably not a ton. Like AirPods, I think are nearing 14 million or something. But anyway, the reason I'm not a huge fan of the Nintendo Switch is because I'm not a Nintendo fan. My issue with the Switch is it's not about the hardware, it's all about the games. I don't see the point in having a dedicated mobile gaming device because we should have that in tablets and phones already. But of course, people say you can't play Breath of the Wild on your phone, and it's like I don't care about that game. It's Zelda, and it looks like a Zelda game, and I didn't grow up with Zelda. I didn't grow up with Mario. I have no nostalgia towards that. So unless you are a diehard Nintendo fan and you just love the Mario games and you love the Zelda games, I don't see the point. Okay, 10 million. That's better. Yeah, I don't know why you said 100,000. It's like I don't think that's very good. And thank you for the donation. Thanks for answering the live stream setup question, and can't wait to see you review iMac Pro. I'm excited too. I really hope that we could actually pick it up shortly after the 14th. Maybe it's available in store on the 14th. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. Would you change your channel name to Apple Sheep or something Apple related? If I would get something out of it, right now if you search Apple Sheep, you get me regardless. And I consider myself a tech channel that admits to who is the best. Yes, I am biased, but that could definitely change. It's not like if Apple started making the wrong decisions, if Apple started becoming the inferior company, and I genuinely believed that they were the inferior company, I would start having favoritism towards a different tech company. So that's why I wouldn't want my whole brand to be dedicated to Apple Sheep, because then I'd really have no business reviewing non-Apple stuff. It's kind of weird because when everything Apple Pro reviews, Samsung and Google devices, it's like, but you're everything Apple. Why are you doing this? So I prefer Tailosive Tech, first of all, because Tailosive is my name. That's my unique brand. When you search Tailosive, you just get me, whereas Apple Sheep, you'll probably get 8,000 accounts. What are your thoughts on the new flexible Samsung that are rumored? Well, I did a whole video on that. You should watch it, but I don't see the point in it, honestly. You can play any Zelda and Mario games up to Wii Portable. Okay. Again, first of all, I'm not a huge gamer, so that's your first strike. Second strike is I don't like Nintendo. I don't like that they copyright claim any video you upload of their gameplay. Even if it's a Let's Play, they'll just instantly take it, and then they do the Nintendo partnership program. I also don't like the idea that, they treat their games like it's Apple's operating system or something. Like we're gonna design a completely new console from the ground up just for our game. Whereas if Breath of the Wild was on any other console, it would run a lot better. If it was on PC, it would run a lot better. But because it can't run on anything else, you're forced to buy the Switch to play the game. But this is a single the game does not come with the device. That's how like people would be like, well, Drew, Apple only allows iOS on Apple devices. It's like, yes, but it comes with the device, and that's an operating system, not a game. You don't buy the iPhone and then pay $60 to use the operating system. It's not a company I'm a fan of. I'm not a fan of the games, and I'm not a fan of the hardware. It looks sloppy to me, and it looks gimmicky. It looks like a big excuse to sell a $500 game. You're paying $500 for that game. Yes, I've seen MKBHD's video about the iMac Pro. Pretty straightforward. I wish you would have talked about the always-on Siri thing, which we were hearing rumored about. Very, very grateful, okay, that Apple included a black lightning cable with the Magic Keyboard and mouse. Like, oh, they thought of that. I was wondering that for so long. Will they include a black lightning cable? And they did, and apparently that's like the only one. $500 for a game, because it means that if I'm sitting here right now and I say, I would like to play Breath of the Wild, I have to pay $400 for a console and $60 for a game. Plus tax, it's about $500 to get access to that game. Even if you have an Xbox, even if you have a PC, none of that matters. It doesn't run on that. You have to buy this new console, or you have to buy the Wii U or whatever. Did you also think the stand of MKBHD's was ugly? Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that, honestly. I saw the stand it was on. What I'm saying is, for those Nintendo Switch lovers, you're right. I'm not going to understand the point of the Switch because I'm not a fan of those games. And I've said countless times, this is not something against Nintendo personally. This is all console developers. It's not which console is the best. It's which exclusives do you want. Because graphic-wise, Xbox, PlayStation, they're minutely different. You can look at comparisons. Maybe the X is a little better. Maybe the PS4 is a little better on certain things. But you buy them, like if you like Halo, you buy the Xbox. If you like The Last of Us or whatever the exclusive is, I don't know. I'm not a gamer. Then if you like those exclusives, you buy the PlayStation. You don't, hardware-wise, they're very similar. They both take discs. They both have similar hard drives. Price-wise, they're a little bit different, but for the most part, they're in the same ballpark price. You both have to pay to play online, which is stupid. If I game, I'm on PC. I prefer PC anyway. So yeah, I don't look at the Nintendo Switch and go, "Oh my God, this is genius." It's an exclusives. It's exclusives to pay extra. Why don't you work at an Apple store? Probably because, you donated and said you should get a job at an Apple store. It's a very different job than what I'm doing now. Right now, I'm reviewing products and telling you if you should buy them and talking mostly about the future. The most popular videos on my channel are usually ones about future releases that haven't come out yet. Working at an Apple store would be me telling people who don't know anything about Apple products. Whereas you guys are interested in the field, we can kind of have deeper discussions about what Apple should do. Whereas there, I would just be telling people about what exists and what you should buy, which is very, very different. And working in retail, as any retail employee can tell you, is very, very different than this job. Just talking to a camera, editing videos, coming up with concepts. I like doing that kind of thing. This is a job I enjoy. That's probably not a job I would enjoy very much. Order the Apple products in terms of importance to the Apple ecosystem. What are the must-haves to get the most out of the Apple ecosystem? Well, it all starts with the iPhone. I think that's what the whole thing's built on. I would say in order, if you don't have any Apple products and you want to have an Apple ecosystem, it should go iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, iPad, and then not everyone needs a MacBook or an iMac, but if you wanted to go into the Pro field, then MacBook, iMac, up there. Thoughts on Apple buying Shazam? Maybe a now playing feature? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. I mean, you already kind of had the Shazam feature built into Siri, but now they own the company. Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going with that, honestly. Maybe they really like that Pixel feature where it's always listening, and when music's playing, it'll just pop up. Maybe they like that, and they're like, we want to do it ourselves. So therefore, we have to buy Shazam to do so. I don't think they needed to, but I don't know. Maybe Shazam wasn't doing too well, but yeah, I'm kind of under the field that Apple should own lots of different companies because it makes the company better. But yeah. Mac comes just after the iPhone, doesn't it? Not necessarily. Not everyone needs a Mac. I'll be open about that. Um, a lot of people's general lifestyle doesn't need a MacBook. A lot of people could get by on an iPad. So that's why I'm saying, like, favor the iPhone first, because that's what the ecosystem is built around. Everything's centered around this. So make that experience primary first. So you get your iPhone. Because I would say it's awkward for people to truly experience the ecosystem, buy a $1,000 phone followed by a $2,000 laptop. Like, you don't always need a Mac. Some people need a Mac. I need a Mac. I can't do my job on an iPad, but I'm not everyone. A lot of people just write documents and browse the web and write emails. For those people, and for a lot of people, that is work. That is a work computer. You can get that on an iPad now. You could get a large iPad with a large smart keyboard, and it will be beautiful. But I'm saying it makes probably more sense to say, for those entering the Apple ecosystem, you buy a good phone, surround that phone with good accessories like the Apple Watch, which can be $400, $500. AirPods, great accessory, but one that will make you really, really appreciate the Apple ecosystem, the intuitiveness between AirPods and iPhones. Like, I'm saying that's more important than the AirDrop continuity features and unlock your MacBook with your Apple Watch. See, that's a big reason. If you need to get a Mac, you should get it after the watch, is unlocking your Mac with your watch. So nice. I use that all the time. Every time I open this, I never enter the password now. Drew, has your free iMac Pro from Apple, or did they just send MKBHD, Jonathan Morrison, and iJustine free ones? Did they send one to iJustine? I checked her Twitter, and she said, oh boy, it's out, and she got the same notification I got. But first of all, don't assume things. We don't know if it was free. They may have had to pay Apple for them. Like, Apple contacted them and said, you have to pay us whatever, like 8, 9, 10 grand, and we'll give it to you early. And they may have had to pay for them, or they may have got them free. I'm not sure. But I definitely would have taken one if Apple offered. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm happy for them. I wish that they could reach smaller YouTube channels like me, but that, of course, is mostly just, I don't know, simple jealousy. I'm not terribly jealous. I'm just excited that the iMac Pro is coming out. I wish I could get it early. That'd be great. I'm sure any of you would too. No one would choose to wait till the release date, but it's really great. Please explain how Apple's ecosystem is better than Google syncs everything over their cloud. Okay, well, first of all, Apple can do that too. By everything, you're talking pictures, documents, data. Apple does all this with iCloud. But Google doesn't have an ecosystem of hardware that can compete. First of all, Google has no pro market support. If you're I could not use the Google ecosystem and do my job. I would have to break the ecosystem to find something I can edit with. There's no Chromebook that I can do video editing on, or at least good video editing on. There's no desktop Chromebook. There's no gaming Chromebook. So what the Google ecosystem is a phone, Pixel Buds, this awkward Chrome OS laptop that does everything in a browser, not really gaming, not really video editing or power-intensive stuff, even though it has power-intensive stuff. Not really a good smartwatch. Android Wear is very, very barren compared to the Apple Watch's success, both with customization and software updates that happen regularly. Android Wear is just dead in the water. Samsung has a much better ecosystem than Google's. What I mean is, for instance, the perfect prime example is I can record 4K at 60 video on my iPhone. Your Google phones can't do that. And then I can wirelessly send it to my MacBook Pro, which is capable of editing 4K at 60 with Final Cut Pro and exporting it very efficiently without rendering. And I cannot drop frames I can drop frames, but it doesn't. I can edit 4K at 60 and I don't lose frames wirelessly, and I don't even need internet. So in your Google ecosystem, if you want to send a bunch of files to your editing machine, which will have to be a Windows device, so you have to break the ecosystem because there's no Google Pro market. And second of all, you have to unlock the Pixel Book with a password, like it doesn't even have Touch ID, which a MacBook Pro has. Not that it matters, because I can't use Touch ID, but second of all, I can also unlock it with my watch. Android Wear doesn't do that. Of course, I can edit the 4K at 60 stuff on there, and it works fine. In your Google ecosystem, to send all those 4K files to your Windows 10 device, you have to either plug it in, and drag it over manually, or you have to upload it, which is limited by your internet speed. AirDrop is not affected by internet speed, and I love being wireless, opposed to having to plug in cables all the time. With my MacBook Pro, I can have 3, 4 monitors at once and be charging, thanks to Thunderbolt 3. Google doesn't have that. Google has a big services ecosystem, but the problem with the services ecosystem is it's not exclusive. Everything I just listed, AirDrop, Final Cut Pro, iOS, AirPods, Apple Watch, all those are exclusive to the Apple ecosystem. Google services all work on Apple's ecosystem. I can use Google Drive. I can use Google Photos. I can use all of those services you advertise on my Apple ecosystem. So there's no requirement for me to break the ecosystem. That's why it doesn't, God forbid, actually plugging something in. I'm not saying it's miserable. I'm just saying one is better. If I have the option of airdropping files from across the room, my MacBook's in here just uploading stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I vlogged today. Let me send that footage to the computer. And I'm just sitting on the couch, hit airdrop, shows up on there, opposed to, oh, let me find a cable. Plug it in, find the files I want, select them. My Chromebook has Smart Unlock. I unlock my Chromebook with just my Android phone. Even with Wear 2, this is something Apple copied from Google. Yeah, but people don't have Android Wear. Sorry. Okay, there's a lot more Apple Watches. I'm glad that they have Smart Unlock, but there's a lot more Apple Watches. And don't compare Android Wear to Apple Watch. They will lose. Just look at the numbers. Not that many people buy Android Wear. I mean, MKBHD loves the Pixel, and he's wearing an Apple Watch to this day. Pixel C is Android. Yes. It's a jack of all trades, master of none. Again, MKBHD loves the Pixel and thinks that the Pixel book is weird. Like, I don't think Google does anything, any hardware super well. Maybe these, they got cheap, so they're good, but Pixel C's been out for like 5 years now, right? Without any updates. What are your thoughts about the MacBook with touchscreen on the bottom replacing the keyboard, now that you talked about the iPad replacing the MacBooks? Yeah, that's what I would predict, as I said in the iPads replacing laptops video, and I should probably touch on that. A lot of people, I think, missed the point. I thought I brought up multiple times in that video that I'm talking about the next decade. I'm talking about the next 2 decades. We're going to see iPads become more professional and start taking the place of MacBooks, and MacBooks are going to just cater more and more to the pro market. I think that very limited and very premium pro market MacBook that'll stick around will be the one with the touch screen on the bottom with the taptic feedback and no physical keys. Like that's the pro market, high-end MacBook Pro for people who can't get their work done on the iPads, because the iPads are going to get more and more pro software. They're going to get faster. That's what I was talking about in that video. I wasn't talking about right now. Obviously, the iPads are not ready to replace MacBooks right now. I'm a prime example of that. But yeah, I think that touchscreen base to the keyboard will happen with the pro market one. It'll be very expensive. It'll be very fast, but it'll not be made for everyday people like the 12-inch MacBook anymore. Excuse me. Google should stick with the search engine. Well, they are. They're not ditching that, but yeah, I don't blame them for trying other things. I just think just because you're Google, you don't have a lot of excuses as to inferior hardware. You're one of the most valuable brands in the world. You have like this infinite supply of money. You should be okay with, you shouldn't have excuses for having inferior tech. You've had like an unlimited budget. Apple's budget is very limited. They have to design their software and hardware to work together, and they don't have an infinite supply of money. Google makes all their money from ad revenue. It's not about hardware sales. Apple's money is all about hardware sales. Apple has to make products that people like. Google has a search engine and pays ads. Like that's 90% of their income. So with all of that money that they're raking in from a search engine, why have inferior hardware? Like, I don't get it. I like pancakes, yeah. Google Home Max is the ugliest thing ever made in the whole universe? I mean, it's not... How is it that ugly? It's just kind of a box. I mean, the Pixel 2, I would say, is uglier, but I mean, the Max is just, you know, it's just a speaker. It looks like an average speaker. I wouldn't say it's a very unique design, but the look of a speaker isn't that important. Some people would probably say the HomePod looks ugly. Mm. Can you compare Google Photos with Apple Photos? Well, no, because that's not a thing. But they're different products. I try to specify that with people. Google Photos is unlimited with backup and storage and stuff, but it's because Google has access to it. Apple's iCloud Photos, they don't sell to other companies for user data. They don't use it for machine learning. That's just encrypted. So if you care about security, iCloud Photos are more expensive but better. If you don't care about security, Google Photos is better. And the silly thing about comparing them is you can use both. You can get Google Photos on any iOS device. So, talk about SE2. When will it launch? No idea. I mean, it might not launch at all. If I put money on it, I'd say March. But yeah, we don't know. We have lots and lots of theories. Pixel C came out in 2015. Runs Oreo. Okay, so it's nearly 3 years old. Got it. How do those Android tablets compare to iPads? Yeah, not very well. I'd be curious to see the sales stats of that thing. Yeah, it's not worth bothering with. People don't buy Android tablets very much because Android on a tablet is very much blown up, whereas iOS on an iPad, bit more functionality. Yes, there's Android tablets are so bad. Yes. Apple Music versus Spotify. Again, you can have both on either platform. I like Apple Music because of the Siri integration with my iOS devices. But I got Spotify Premium because that fan donated for it and said to get it. And I got it. And it's like, okay, same thing. It's just same exact thing except without the Siri integration. And I can't stream it from my Apple Watch. Darn. Google even syncs my fingerprint between devices? Well, yeah, but that's because Google doesn't care about encryption. Apple encrypts that because they don't want their users thinking that they sell their fingerprints to other companies or they store your fingerprint data in the cloud. That's kind of creepy. Google doesn't care. They'll do that. New next generation of Apple product, probably going to be the AR glasses, 2019. I knew they synced fingerprints. I'm just wondering why more people aren't concerned about that. Google has access to your fingerprint. Whereas Apple does not. They use it to unlock your phone and it stays on that device. It's not sold anywhere. Yeah, I mean, Spotify, if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, probably works fine. I mean, they're almost identical products. There's not like a Spotify has all this music and Apple Music doesn't. I mean, there probably is certain parts of it where Spotify has more music than Apple Music, but in my experience, everything I want to listen to is on Apple Music, and Siri integration, streaming from the watch, works on iPad, a MacBook, iPhone super well. There's not a total. There's no need for me to switch because of the tech around it. What do you think about Apple buying Shazam? I hope there's something good coming out of it. Shazam's been around for a long time. I don't know what they're gonna do by partnering with them, but now they're saying fingerprints on Android are stored in a secure part of the chip. So we're getting different opinions across everything, but whatever. Provide a source, please. I don't know. I'm looking at the chat. If you provide me with a counter argument that's false, I'm going to either disprove it or tell you why it's a bad idea. Google selling all of your private photos and videos, if they're okay with that, why wouldn't they be okay with backing up your fingerprint data? Makes sense to me. iMac Pro Vid, MKBHD. Yeah, I know. I saw it. He got one early. Congrats. I'm happy for him. They should be stored in the TPM chip. Okay, well, we've got you guys saying that it's stored in a specific part of the chip, and then we had the guy earlier saying that, did you know it syncs across all? So maybe for him it syncs. I don't know. How often are the podcasts coming out? I really like those. Nick was awesome. Great. I'm glad you like the podcast. For those who don't know, I'm on Apple Podcasts now with a great fan, Nick, who's organizing them. And we're gonna try to do them weekly. I've got a friend, my friend Xander, who you guys seen. Hopefully, me and him are gonna do a tech podcast because normally we just talk about tech when we're together anyway. So hopefully we're gonna do that tomorrow. That's the goal. And I'm gonna hopefully have my dad on there. I'd like to have my editor Nathan on there so you guys get to know him a little bit better. But yeah, there should be new podcast stuff every week. Probably a lot of me and the the co-host right now, Nick. I'll get the base model iMac Pro. I don't have the money to get upgraded ones, but I'll be getting the iMac Pro. Do you like the OnePlus 5T? I'm not a fan. I thought it sucks that it can't stream HD video. Did you guys see that article? The OnePlus 5T does not have the proper graphical performance right now to stream HD content. That's not YouTube. I think it can play YouTube HD videos, but that's it. It can't do Netflix or Hulu or Google Play movies or anything HD. Everything has to be SD, which I thought was stupid. It's like that you're seeing where the price is dropped. You're wondering why it's so cheap is because they leave out certain parts. Yeah. But of course it's $500. So if it's cheap, it's cheap, and therefore your argument's invalid because it's cheap, so I can't do anything. Yeah. So he's saying, okay, here's your response, guys. It does sync with newest Play service update. Check 9 to 5 Google. There you go. Apple have stolen the march on Samsung with Face ID. What else do you think they will come up with? Proactive rather than reactive. Apple's never been the one to be first to anything. Apple's never first. They're always best. So I don't think there's many things Apple's going to make that no one's ever made before. That usually never happens. They're just about making it normal, making it common, making it useful. Can't load HD and Netflix, etc. because DRM and OnePlus 5T doesn't have level 1 wide-vine security. There's the specific answer. But yeah, I read about that and I was like, really? So it doesn't seem like this thing's going to get much better over time. Experience this glorious new display and watch 480p videos on it. But it's $500. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't... Unbox Therapy defended that thing so heavily. It's his favorite phone, and he has every flagship. He even saw my tweet at him, but he said I missed the point. I don't think I missed it at all. Like, I brought up the Nexus 6 because it's half the price of the 5T, and I was like, is it half as bad? No, but you could buy this. You could buy 2 of these for the price of the 5T. And he's like, you don't get it. I prefer the 5T. And it's like I know. I'm saying you can prefer the 5T because it's twice the price, and I can prefer the iPhone 10 despite it being twice the price. Google Glass is stupid. I don't know why it exists. You hate me, that's fine. I mean, you clicked on the video. By watching this, you're supplying ad revenue, so I don't care if people hate me. I'm used to that. I went into this knowing that. Let's see. You got banned from a forum since you said something negative about the OnePlus 5T. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he talked about the 5T of the fast fingerprint scanner and face scanner. I mean, you notice how much work people try to fool Face ID. Like, it doesn't work here, it doesn't work here. And with the 5T, there's like nothing. They're like, oh, it's fast. No lock screen. Yes, we're aware the iMac Pro is available. Please react to Google Glass. It's a lot of money, and I don't think anyone can buy it. It's kind of specifically for businesses, so... Plus, I don't care much about it. Maybe I'd try it sometime if it was at a Best Buy, but I don't... I know I'm not going to like it. Will the next iMac Pro have Siri? I believe there was a leak saying that it would have the always listening Siri on it. So your iMac Pro could be your HomePod replacement, your $5,000 HomePod device. But they didn't talk about that, neither Jonathan or MKBHD. So I don't know if maybe that'll be enabled later. But at least in the leak anyway, we saw the Hey Siri mode activated on a Mac, and they're saying it's built into the iMac Pro. I don't know if it's there yet though. Let's see. Unbox Therapy always says how unlocking a phone should bring you straight to the home screen, but what if you want to see your notifications? That's my point. I mean, Apple used to, I think it was the iPhone 6s, as soon as the fingerprint unlocked, it went straight to the home screen, and then everyone got mad. Everyone was like, I want to see my notifications. So they changed it to where you could unlock from the lock screen and then slide to unlock, or then press the home button with iOS 10. And now people don't like that because the 5T can go straight there. Agreed. I think it should be an option, but like I think in software they should make it so as soon as Face ID sees you, it instantly goes to the home screen. I think they should do that personally. But again, I like checking things from the lock screen because you can check something and then put it down. Whereas when you if it unlocked immediately and went straight to the home screen, now you have to press the power button to turn it off. Because you've got, it unlocked the entire device. I like having a lock screen. That's my point. And the 5T is fast, but it bypasses all that. And also the 5T doesn't really have like transition animations. I think that's something that Apple really is interested in. Yes, Dino P, I'm getting the iMac Pro, if you haven't heard. I think Apple likes having that fluidity of when you unlock, the apps fall into place, whereas the 5T is just like snap, 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 no animations. It's faster, which techies appreciate. But I don't think that's Apple's primary audience. They're trying to reach the widest amount of people. Anyway, can you check out my 60-second Apple video? Thank you, Adams Apple. I'll open your channel in a different tab. I'll watch that later, but thank you. Will we be getting a midnight stream on December 14th? I don't know exactly when it comes out. We have some people saying it's 5:30 GMT and some people saying right at midnight. So probably not. There probably won't be a pre-order stream for this. First of all, because it's not a super high demand. So it's not like you got to buy them fast. I don't know. If you have new notifications, stay on lock screen. If not, unlock right away. There you go. Hey. Like that idea. But I mean, sometimes you're just looking for the time. If you're just like, what time is it? 10. It's not everyone has an Apple Watch, so you just check the time. You're good. Or sometimes I like from the lock screen, I can just swipe and then access the camera, or I can swipe and check my notification. My widgets. My battery, my storage, the weather, and stuff like that. I have all this instant access stuff just to the side. That's easy sometimes. I don't necessarily want to go to the home screen immediately. But yeah, that would probably work for most scenarios. If you have new notifications, stay on the lock screen. If there's no new notifications, go directly. It could go either way. Can you play my game, RGB Ball Flow? It's in the App Store. I've checked it out. You've donated on the Talos of Gaming stream before. Thank you, Rudolph Random, so you guys can check it out as well. We got a game developer in the chat. How do you check storage? Well, what I recommend is this app called System Info, where on the side it shows you your RAM, your memory usage, your battery, and your storage used at all times. And I just swipe to the left for that. Jonky, thanks for donating, says, do you know of Louis Rossman? And have you seen his videos on Apple and Write, Repair, etc.? Thoughts collab? No, I don't know him. It sounds familiar, though. If I looked him up, I'd probably recognize him. But yeah, I'd like to collab with people. I'm very, very busy. And a lot of the time, when you want to collab with people, they want to do a certain kind of video and you don't. And when that happens, it's like, I don't think this is working. You don't want to force a collab. If a YouTuber doesn't want to collab, then don't pressure them to. Thank you, Rudolph, again, for donating. Am I the only one who prefers an analog watch? My dad got me a good old Rip Curl one a few years ago, and it gotten great for me. It's lasted for almost 10 years. That's the great thing about analog watches. They're reliable. But I would not personally say this is in the same field of that. It goes on the same place, your wrist. But they're very different products. A product that just tells the time is severely different than a product that, like an Apple Watch, that is smart, has all these smartphone pairing features. Very different kinds of devices. You're not the only one. Tons of people prefer that. Apple Watch is very, very popular, but it by no means is killing all other watch companies. Yeah, don't say read my last comment because then I have to go looking for it. Just ask. I can't read everything. You are using your lock screen wrong. You shouldn't allow it to show the personal content from notifications. What if you get robbed? A personal info could be displayed there. Well, first of all, it only shows up with attention awareness, so your messages are hidden until Face ID unlocks. And second of all, if my phone is stolen, I'm concerned about my phone being stolen. If they don't have the passcode, then they're not accessing really anything private. How did they both got iMac Pros early because Apple sent them to it. They said that in the video. Apple got them to them. Yeah, iPhone 10 hides personal content until it sees your face. The main reason is because of waterproof. Okay. How would have MQHD appreciated if iMac Pro was made by Google? Oh, he would have loved it. Would have loved it so much. But of course, like, well, I don't get this argument. Everyone's talking about iMac Pro, which is really fast, but it's not upgradable. So therefore, it's dumb. It's there. It's since you can't upgrade the innards, it's not going to age very well. But it's like the number of people where the iMac Pro's specifications are going to be dated. That's so slim. How many people are going to be like down the road? It's like, well, my iMac Pro can't edit my 8K at 60. Oh wait, yeah, it can. It can do that now. So are you waiting till like you're filming 12K? Now the iMac Pro is starting to slow down that I'm shooting my 12K footage. I don't think a ton of people are going to be doing that. I think the purpose of the iMac Pro is to make an all-in-one design that's so overkill with the specs that upgrading it is unnecessary, because by the time that it's outdated, you'll be buying new hardware regardless. Waterproof keyboard for those who always mess up with their tech. Yeah, I mean, randomly waterproofing things is great. What are your plans for 100K? I'll probably do a special video and likely a giveaway once we reach 100,000. I'll do a giveaway for everyone, not just Patreon members. But yeah, I'm excited for 100,000. That's probably a ways away, but yeah, I'm excited. If I could get base Mac Pro or even a MacBook Pro, I'd be set for 10 plus years because my cameras film at 1080p. But of course, you gotta anticipate your growth too. That's what I'm doing with this iMac Pro purchase. The iMac Pro for my cameras now is completely overkill. I do not need an iMac Pro. This does just fine. The storage is a little small, but it does just fine editing my phone's 4K at 60 footage. This can handle no problem. It can handle my camera's 4K footage, no problem. My 1080 at 60, no problem. But I'm buying this iMac Pro because I'm anticipating buying heavier duty cameras down the road. What I don't understand is people saying that the iMac Pro is fast now, but you can't upgrade it. And I'm like, what upgrades are you going to be needing? Unless you're like a super advanced like 3D modeler that's going to be rendering super high res like stuff down the road. And again, if you need that, then even a regular modular Mac Pro wouldn't work, because it's an infinite number of speed. When is the HomePod going to be out? I'm guessing March. That's my prediction. Of course, we don't actually know. Show us the red Google Home Mini. I have one in charcoal. It's technically called coral, I believe. It's kind of this awkward color. It looks very different in the pictures, and I gotta say, I kind of don't like it. If you want to know what color it is, it's the same color as the bottom of every Google Home Mini. They have this awkwardly orange color, and it's a very weird shade. I thought it would be more red. It's like the color of, my friends called it an Advil pill. I call it like salmon. It looks like a salmon meat. Like, it's a weird color. I don't like it. And we're probably going to put this in a room where it doesn't get seen very much. Yeah, at 100,000 subs, we can apply for a verified check mark. That'll be fun. People complaining about a non-upgradable iMac Pro are the same people who own a phone with an SD card slot with no actual SD card. Yeah, probably true. I mean, the problem is the people who complain, the people who can afford an iMac Pro can afford an iMac Pro and a modular Mac. So it's not like they're saying this isn't worth the investment because a year from now there will be a computer that I can upgrade over time. But if you can afford the kind of upgrades you'll be making with a Mac Pro modular, it's going to be like $1,000, $2,000 for every little piece to upgrade. So you can afford an iMac Pro and that later. Google Lenses. Yeah, let's not spam stuff, guys. So should I get an iMac Pro? Definitely not everyone. It's not for everyone. It's really for people who see themselves filming with DSLR cameras, not smartphones. That's different. I'm talking filming with actual studio cameras, 4K at 60 and up, perhaps even 8K. If you see yourself filming at that resolution in the foreseeable future, then it makes sense to get something that's so advanced. But, oh, sorry. I gotta miss the donation. Well, you didn't write a comment with it, so then I have to go find it. It makes it a little harder. Sampa, it's easier to miss when you do it this way. I'm sorry. I don't see it. The $1 donations show up and then leave very quickly. Okay, I'm not finding it. I'm sorry. I'm looking. I'm still looking. Where'd it go? You guys talk very quickly, so I'm trying to find it. Where is it? This is why I don't like doing it this way. I know it's cheaper this way, but again, it's much easier to lose comments and questions. I'm sorry. Can you ask it again? There was no comment, but I think he wrote a message afterwards. But again, when the message is after the super chat, it's very difficult to find. I'm sorry. I don't see one. I don't see a question. Yeah, just ask it again, and I'll look for your name. Okay. You mean Control F? That's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, how's gaming on an iMac Pro with Boot Camp? Probably really good. It's got very why did we want Control F? Tell me what it does. Don't just tell me random commands. That's how I get pranked every time. What? Does that immediately go to Sampa's comment if I hit Control F? I don't know. To search the page. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't need to search this. To find the comment. I'm not using the... Okay, I just Control F. Nothing happened. I'm not using the same live stream page as you guys. When you're managing the chat, you have a different window. I have a creator live streaming section. I can see myself. I have a dedicated super chat section. Oh, now it's Command F. See how complicated it is? Thank you for your donation. Please just try to ask your question again and I'll look for it. Do you support the PC master race? When I game, I prefer gaming on a PC. Yes, we have one in the gaming room. Command F finds words. Okay, just ask the question again. It's fine. God, it's ruining the page. No, this isn't working. Yeah, guys, I have a different window than you. It doesn't work like that. It just, I did that Command F thing. It goes directly to the super chat section. It didn't go to the chat. Anyway, Command F deletes your laptop. That makes sense. How do you grow on YouTube? Pretty much anyone will tell you this, but it's about consistency. Making videos commonly and trying to make each one better. Just understand that your first videos are not going to be good and probably will stay that way for a long time. And the only way to get better is to let time go on. Guys, I'm not stupid. I did exactly what you said and it didn't work. So it's okay. You don't have to donate again. I'm just saying ask the question and I'll look for your name. Do you do anything besides YouTube? I live a life. I live a happy life that I enjoy. But work-wise, no. YouTube's my primary thing. I'm not saying it's easy. I did a video. I didn't do a video a day. I did as many videos as I could while going to college and then while working at a Mandarin Ranch part-time. It was very hard. But yeah, I'm just saying that's how you get success. Success is not easy. Make stuff that people want to see. You know, don't make videos that are easy for you to make. That's a common problem I see with a lot of growing people trying to grow is they don't want to put a lot of effort into videos because it takes a lot of time. Whereas I'm saying make stuff people are interested in, and that is not necessarily all about editing. It's not about cameras. It's not about lighting. It's just mostly about your personality on camera. Okay, did we get the comment? What would you change in iPhone 10? See, was that hard? I saw the comment. What would I change? I wish the camera bulge was thinner or at least more rounded off. Not much. I really like it the way it is. I could remove the lightning port. Everyone would hate me for that, but I wouldn't mind. I wish they could embed the earpiece in between the stainless steel and the glass like they did on the Essential phone. And yeah, I would prefer a 6.5-inch display. Hands down, that's awesome. Like I said, I'd like the option of being able to unlock the phone and go straight to the home screen if there's no notifications. Like that'd be kind of nice. Kind of nice. Obviously, iOS changes that we've been asking for ages, like being able to change the recording resolution and frame rate in the what is it? The camera app, opposed to having to always go to the settings app. Do you have an Instagram? Yep, Talos of Tech. You can check it out there. We don't need that crap here. Will Apple upgrade Siri next year? If so, really behind compared to Google Assistant. If they do, what will be new? That's okay. I've been using the Google Assistant a lot recently. I have these in like every room. Very, very convenient, but definitely dumb in a lot of regards. I know people are like, Siri's really dumb, Google's really smart. There's a ton of things Google can't do that it really should be able to do, and I don't get it. Like, first of all, the Google Assistant will go off randomly when she's not supposed to. Second of all, like, we'll say basic things like the smart home stuff has been insanity. Like, you think it'd be simple. You're like, turn on the outside lights. Sorry. Play the Rooster Teeth podcast over again. And she'll be like, sorry, I can't play the Rooster Teeth podcast over again. It's like, why not? What's so hard about skipping to the beginning of a podcast? Is that so hard? I don't know. I mean, you'd think instead of playing music on all speakers, you go into the Google Home app, create a group with all 3 speakers, and then you say play to Office group. Why can't you just say play to all speakers this song? She can't do that. Instead, you have to go into the app, make a group, and then start it up. There's a ton of things that the Google Assistant could do that she's not. That's why I said the Google Assistant, sure, is the smartest digital assistant. That's not saying much. He banned him, but he was calling me stupid, and he was saying inappropriate things in the chat, and I don't need to hear that. And he said mean things about my friends in the chat in the comments before, so if you're a fan, that's fine, but don't be disrespectful. If you're disrespectful, I don't need to read your comments. That's how you get banned, is you annoy me. So please don't do that. I don't ban people for having an opinion. If you love the Pixel, if you love Windows 10, I won't ban you for that. But when you're just flat out rude, it's unnecessary. Okay. They should put medical ID instead of the camera on home screen. Yeah, maybe. I guess that's not as incredibly... Can't you access that by, like, holding down the... No, that's emergency SOS. They should build that into, like, that you hold the power button and volume button and then... Uh-oh, we got another one of those super chat, but this isn't actually the common thing. When you meet new people, say a friend of a friend, and they ask you what you do for a living, how do they react when they hear the answer? What's the conversation like after that? Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. An original one. So, Jonky, usually when I tell people what I do, I have to sum it up because most people don't understand the term. Like, while you may think YouTuber is a very generic term and you just understand everything, a lot of people don't know what that is. So I have to say, I make YouTube videos and ads play on those videos and Google reimburses me for them. And they're like, so how do you make money from that? That's the most common question I get is how do you get paid? And I'm like, it's just like TV, you know, commercials play on channels and those advertisers pay the TV network for them. It's no different. And they're like, so how many people do you have watching? And I usually tell them, 62,000. And they go, whoa, that's really cool. It's not like, oh my God, I'm honored to be in your presence. Usually people are pretty funny about it. They're like, wow, so you're like a millionaire, huh? And I'm like, no, but I don't make a ton of money. I make a pretty good amount of money thanks to you guys. But then I bring up the demonetization thing, and I bring up the Patreon's been great, but I bring up that the views can go up or down depending on what's going on. It's all over the place. Nick Gurr, thank you for donating. Was it hard to become an everyday YouTuber as your only job? It took a long time. I definitely said it was not like, I'm going to start making YouTube videos, and then a year later I could do it full time. It didn't work like that. It was years and years and years of doing it as a side gig with no payback. It was years and years of making video after video after video and not getting paid at all. Just hoping that it would result to something. Don't mention the demonetization. Okay. I mean, it's a true work problem. I think most people, if um, if most people saw their income being affected unnecessarily, not based on performance, they were just getting price cuts for no reason, which is what's happening with, um, YouTube right now. Is Google says, "Thank you, Petty Spaghetti, great channel." When they demonetize your videos for no reason, I can get demonetization on not ad friendly content. I'm actually in favor of that. If advertisers are pulling out because they're afraid of ads being shown on controversial channels or ads being shown on tragedies or offensive stuff, I get that. And I can understand. That's why I made the Tailosive Network, all of my channels, very family friendly, as in anyone can watch. It's not specific to teenage humor or dark humor, even though that's humor that I enjoy. I don't enforce that on everyone. But the problem is they're demonetizing every one of our channels now. We get demonetized on the main channel, the gaming channel, the talk channel, the tech channel, everything, and we're not breaking the rules. So if that's happening to you at your workplace, say you're not a YouTuber, say you were an accountant, and all of a sudden your paychecks were getting cut. Suddenly you were getting pay decreases. You're like, "Hey, boss, why am I not getting paid as much? I'm doing the same amount of work." And they say, "I don't know." They don't have an answer. Like, what is the oh, we got the new donation. Question follows. Would you mind telling us how much money you get per video, per month, and per live? Yeah, it's all over the place. I don't like talking specifics about it, and mostly because it's so random. You can have one check that's really good one month and then one that's really bad. Like, every 11th, I get my quote. So first of all, with Google AdSense, you don't get paid every 2 weeks. You get paid once a month, which is a little tricky sometimes. So Patreon's very helpful with that. But on the 11th, I get a quote of how much I made, and it's kind of scary because in the Creator Studio app, they tell you how much revenue you've generated in the past month, but it's not accurate. The check you get from Google is sometimes hundreds and hundreds of dollars separate from their predictions. So for some months, your check can actually be more than the expected revenue, and for others, it can be less. And sadly, the 11th was yesterday, I got my check, and it was actually way less than the predicted one. It was hundreds and hundreds of dollars less than what I thought. So it was kind of like, oh, shoot, that sucks. Now we got to prepare for that. So it's very hard to predict because it's not a job where it's like, I know I'm going to be making this much per month. I don't. I could crash and burn next month. I have no idea. So per video, it definitely depends on the watch time. To give you a rough estimate, about 1,000 views is like $1. And that, of course, changes. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. But you can look at my videos, and per 1,000 views, that's how many dollars it usually makes. Live streams are definitely mostly dependent on Super Chat, so it's not really about ad revenue. We don't make much ad revenue from these at all. I make them available after the live, but that's mostly just because you guys are curious and you want to hear them. So, and I hope you enjoy them for that. But no, I don't make a ton of money just off of the ad revenue of live streams because they don't get a terrible number of views. So when a video gets 20,000 views, it's like $20, and the more videos you make, that's why I have to post daily. So of course, whenever I get a super chat, YouTube takes a fairly large piece of it. It's like 30 to 40% of it, but sometimes more, sometimes less. It kind of depends on the size of the super chat. So yeah, Patreon's a really great way to support because it's direct. There's barely any fees on my end. It's not like Patreon takes a huge chunk of it. They take a little bit, but not much. We're not gonna have a drama discussion about who said what, Scott. You can do that personal, not in a live stream. Did Google make the bot dumb on purpose because they are out of money or something? They're not out of money, that's for sure. I'm just confused as to why Google, and maybe it's not even Google's fault. Perhaps YouTube is more separate than we think. But the people in charge of YouTube decided that the people in charge of YouTube decided that machine learning and AI would be a great experiment on creators' incomes. That's what I disagree with. Like, Google's all about developing AI, and they're saying that, You know, we'll make these robots that'll tell if a video is ad friendly or not, which, as we've seen, has a significantly high failure rate. Fails all the time. Every single one of my videos that gets demonetized is approved when it's done manually. There's never been a video that's been manually reviewed and then they say, oh, yep, we were right. That's not ad friendly. So I've probably been demonetized over 100 times now, and every single time the bot has been wrong. So it's like when you put machine learning into people's incomes and you don't tell people about it. So that's the other thing. You don't get a notification when you're demonetized. It could be demonetized at 11 at night, and if you're busy, you don't know about it, and you don't hit request review for a whole day. Whereas if someone makes a comment on your video, they want to send you an email about it. So let's see. Roll back the working bot. I mean, they could. What I'm saying is they could. I know it's difficult because I understand YouTube's in a very difficult place. They could. They probably need some type of robot to do a lot of the work because there's so much videos getting uploaded. There's no way to manage that much. I'm just saying there's better ways to handle demonetization. First of all, you could approve channels. If someone's like if someone's a certified YouTuber, like they're posting regularly, you're sending pretty regular checks to this person. Let's say this, because I don't even want to exclude this to if you have over 100,000 subs, because a lot of channels aren't there. But there should be like if we send over $1,000 to you every month, which I think after you send over $1,000 to a YouTuber, you could consider that this is partially a big part of their income. After that point, you could have the manual reviewers look at the channel itself, not at each individual video. Look at that channel, look at what kind of content they're making. If it's ad-friendly content, then you go, okay, let's not put this channel on a hit list. We don't have to manually have the bot go after each one of his videos. He's had a history of being clean. He's likely to stay clean for a long time. Don't let the bot go after this guy. So YouTubers like MKBHD, Casey Neistat, Austin Evans, iJustine, you could look at those and say, okay, we don't need to worry about demonetizing this channel. They're doing just fine. We don't need to be looking for them. My channel, Taylosive, all of my channels, extremely family-friendly, respectful to anyone, except pixel owners. But again, that's just a joke. I mean, that's not even legit. It's not like I fall anywhere under the demonetization zone of being controversial or political or anything. So I should be on the I should be on the clear list. I should be on the, we don't need to look there. Hold on, one second. All right, I had to leave for a second. Sorry about that. There was someone at the door. Project 2X stuff. So or the Home Max, one or the other. But that's not Project 2X. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I knew I'd freak you out for a second, but I was scared that the person, the person who was here for 2X sometimes will say things and they don't know I'm live. But anyway, we don't need to talk about that. Daniel P. had a super chat. What do you think about Angry Grandpa's death? Like he died on Sunday. If you don't know who he is, he's from the channel The Angry Grandpa Show. Yeah, it's terribly, terribly sad. I'd never heard of him. I don't watch him. I didn't know who he was. But yeah, I heard about it. It's very sad. Someone at the door again. 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Nope. It was no one. It's no one. No worries. Sorry. I thought I heard something. I thought they needed something else. When is Project 2X coming out? I think we have a pretty for sure time frame of around February is what I'll say. Probably early February. I know it's kind of delayed a little bit. I said mid-January for a while, but we want to get it right. We want to do it correctly. So we can let's see. What time is it? 11:14. Okay, we're at an hour 14. We want to make sure that 2X is done correctly. Like I said, it's a huge, huge project, the biggest project Tailosive has ever had. So we want to make sure it's done. We're not going to rush it. We're going to take our time on it so that it'll be worth it. Is your office and stuff away from all the fires? I'm not in Southern California. We had all of our fires earlier in the year. But the office was not near the fires, no. My house was. At the time of the forest fires in Oroville, it was miles away from my house. You could see it, and we could smell it in the house. That was really, really scary. Oh, it's our neighbors. We have neighbors now. It's not fun. They're loud. They're being loud right now. Anyway, Guz95 says, what do you think of passcode button on the lock screen? Gets annoying when trying to unlock, for example, when mounted in my car on my desk. Think of a passcode button? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, you mean the numbers? No, I don't. Sorry, Guz. I'm not exactly sure. I'm used to Face ID. I mean, don't use the passcode. I thought the passcode was always just like a backup if Face ID isn't working or Touch ID isn't working, or if it's someone accessing your phone that's not you, but it's someone you trust, then that's what the passcode's for. I'm a Google fanboy, and I hate Google Assistant. It's so dumb. It removed all the good features I loved about Now on Tap and even Google Now. Yeah, it's kind of been redefined several times. It's kind of been like Google Now or on Tap and now Google Assistant. But yeah, I have them in every room. I've been trying to use them more, and I have to say they're not terribly smart. I think what they are is book smart. They're like, the Google Assistant is really good at random things, like being oddly knowledgeable. It's kind of like when they did that unveiling, and they're like, it weighs less than a chipmunk. It's like Google would say that. Google is the kind of person who would say like, we know random facts because we know what the weight of a chipmunk is, so we're going to now compare the weight of a chipmunk to a smart speaker because we know random facts. We know that. Whoever, like, yeah, who would say that? Apple wouldn't say that. Google would, because they're like, we know things. We know random stuff. I don't know why everyone's talking about Mac Pro 13. I don't know. And yeah, actually, someone did the research and said it is not lighter than a chipmunk. Yeah, I know a lot of people actually who prefer passcodes because they just never wanted to set up Touch ID or iris scanning or anything. There's a ton of people who just use the passcode because that's what they know and they're used to it. But they also don't know how to turn it off. If they didn't have to use the passcode, they probably wouldn't. If they didn't want to use, if they knew how to turn the passcode off, but some people just don't know how. Yes, I'm getting the iMac Pro. Does Apple Music work in the browser? Or if I don't have money for a Mac, I'll have to use Wine since Windows is a piece of, yeah. No, you can get iTunes with Apple Music. You can have Apple Music on iTunes on Windows. It doesn't have to work in a browser. I know iTunes doesn't really look supported to Windows, but it's not like you can't use it. How do you feel about another Tailosive member? If you want another, what type of channel would you like them to make? I have no idea right now. I have no, like, requests for a new member. If anything, we'd hire my editor, Nathan, full-time if we were to do something. But right now, if you're interested in being a part of Tailosive, you could just email me with a resume and a mission statement, which just means that, see, right now, I have no idea what I would use another channel for, or need another channel for, or another employee for, a new member, or whatever. So the mission statement would just explain what you can do and why I should have that. And I'll likely read it, and if you don't hear from me, it's because I probably don't need to. No, it's not, Ben. Guys, don't ruin the project. 2X reveal, please. Yes, I pay Nathan. It's not a full-time salary, but Nathan gets paid. He's a part-time job. Independent. He's his own filmmaker. He's not really an employee, but he does a lot of editing for us. Like, for instance, Tailosive Music is a great story. I don't run Tailosive Music, but the guy running it is publishing music that I like and that I appreciate, and I listen to it. The difference is what happened was there was this fan who'd been watching my videos for a while, contacted me. Contacted me via Twitter and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing like a music channel, like a Trap Nation kind of channel, trap music. But could we do it under the Taylosive Music? Could we do it under the Taylosive Network? Can we make a Taylosive Music thing?" And I said, "Well, I can't really, run that kind of thing right now. I'm very busy." And he said, "I just want to make a music channel, and if I did it on my own name and I did it separate from Taylosive, no one would watch it. So I'd rather do it under your network because I appreciate it, and I'll send you music that I like and see if you like it. And if you're okay with it, then we'll just have a music channel that posts daily." And I'm like, "Can you handle that? Can you do it yourself?" And he said, "Absolutely." And so far, he's been doing a great job. He's been posting daily for months now, and I listen to every one of the videos he publishes, and I love them. Really great music, and there's a perfect example. I did not go on YouTube and say, "I need a Taylosive member. Who wants to join the crew and help do blank?" He approached me saying that he can offer this, and this is why that's a good idea. And I was like, okay, I have no reason to say no to this, so that's why we're doing it. Listen to that podcast a couple times. Project 2X is either the ability to shoot slow-mo or starting a Taylosive social network. Yes, listen to him now. He's so close. Ask your viewers their age here. I'm 20. You are younger than me. Wow. I kind of hate talking about age because once I briefly mentioned in a video that I was 19, everyone flipped out. Everyone was like, stop. We don't need that joke in here. It's annoying. But thank you for the super chat. But no, I'm not reading your name. What was I saying? Now I've lost my train of thought. No, I read a super chat earlier, and then he wrote, "I got you to say it." Like, it's a prank. It's a joke. What's the email, one that you read? It's the same as the Patreon. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what it was. As soon as I brought up, if he was serious, there's nothing I can do about it. But I don't think he was serious. As soon as I bring up that I'm 19, that's 50% of the comments. All the comments on all the videos are just, "You're 19, you're 19, you're 19, or you're 19. It's annoying, and now that I said that, you're probably all going to do it in the chat, and it's not funny. It's really boring, and it's not even a joke. Like, at least be original. At least be humorous in the comments. That's not even funny. It's just like, "Drew said not to do this, so I did it." That's the joke. Great. Carlos donated. Says, "Thoughts on next year's iPhone for unlocking? Should they put fingerprint scanner under the screen, or should they toss it and only have Face ID?" See, you're asking the wrong guy because, guys, just knock it off. It's annoying. Because Touch ID's never worked for me. So I'm saying ditch Touch ID. I don't want it back, first of all, because it means more money into the design that wouldn't be used. I think they should, instead of investing more money into embedding Touch ID underneath the display, they should invest more money into making Face ID more practical and more usable, like having the infrared lights go all the way around. Whereas right now you kind of have to look at it just right. Whereas if they could get the infrared to work from a distance, so now Face ID unlocks faster, or it's even more secure than before, opposed to investing more into embedding the Touch ID sensor, I don't think it's necessary. Guys, stop. Rick Sarden gives us great videos. It doesn't matter what age he is. Yeah, it doesn't. They're getting, well, mods. You don't have to delete the 19 comments. I'm just saying they're stupid. You don't ban anyone. Don't delete comments. It's 19. That is man. Yeah, it's not. It's annoying. You went around the sun 19 times? What? Relax. It's a fact. Wish list for Apple Car. I'd hope it to compete with the Tesla lineup, which would take a long, long time. Actually, one thing I would wish is that the Apple Car could charge at Tesla stations, because if it can't, that's going to take forever to install. It probably wouldn't be an Apple car if they don't do that. I don't know why it's so strange that I'm 19 either. I don't get it. If you rant, Google, why do you buy its products? Well, because I'm a man of my word, and when I say to people that if you donate a price of a product and say, use this money to buy this product, I will do that. And that's the result of all of these. That was a super chat. These two were PayPal. Fans donated and said, you know, buy these and review them. So here I am. What editing software could I use on an iPad? I recommend LumaFusion. If you're just starting out, maybe if you're doing like vlogs or something, iMovie is built in and works just fine. But if you want something more advanced that will give you more exporting options and your maybe editing stuff that's a bit more complicated, maybe stuff that looks like my tech videos, get LumaFusion. It's a $20 app, but it's worth it. It's expensive, but yeah. I've got all the colors. There's no blue Google Home Mini. This is every color. This one's hideous. I know it looks red on camera, but anyway, here's the deal, guys. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. You guys. All right, here's the deal. We're coming up on about an hour and a half. I'm sorry I'm leaving a lot. There's people in the lobby. There are people that keep walking in. That was the home Max. It just got delivered. But I would like to actually do an edited video for this unboxing because it's a bit more of an exclusive product that not a lot of people have yet. So I wanted to say, if we can get, I don't know, what would that video make? I don't know. If someone donates $100 in Super Chat, then we'll unbox it live. If not, then you'll see it tomorrow. How much do you think the iPhone X price will drop in a year? Not much. Probably 100 to 150, I'd say. Brandon, no, don't do it. I'm saying if I unbox it live now, I don't get the video content, and I have to work on something else for tomorrow. This was my plan for tomorrow's video. So if you don't donate, that's fine. I can make the money back hopefully on that video. But if you want it now, then I would be losing my content for it. But yeah, I don't want to see it live. Even better. He doesn't want to watch it live. If Apple does remove Lightning, how would we transfer stuff? Wirelessly. Everything's wirelessly, just like we do with the Apple Watch. There's no port on it. Can you do an office tour video, please? The next vlog on Tailosive Talks will have an office tour, because apparently a lot of people didn't catch the office reveal back when we did it. I suppose we do have a lot more subscribers now, so the next vlog on Tailosive Talks will do a walkthrough of the whole office. You want to see it edited? Okay. Well, let's say this. Whoever donates it can decide what's done with it. So if you donate 100 and say, do an edited video, then we'll do an edited video. So everyone's saying, don't donate. Don't donate. Yeah, Apple Sheep Podcast. We should have you on Tailosive Podcast sometime. That'd be fun. There is a port on the Apple Watch, but it's not. Consumers don't use it. I know there is one, but it's not really for us. It's for Apple. It's a secret port. It's hard to find. It's kind of buried. I'm saying you could do a secret port on an iPhone. You could be like AirDrop wirelessly, send data wirelessly, charge wirelessly, and then if you absolutely need a port that Apple can only access, then boom. Just finished all your vlogs and love it. That's a lot, Michael. That's a lot of vlogs. Will electric cars get wireless charging? I heard one did. I heard there was a car that pulls up onto this giant like Qi. It's not the Qi standard, but a giant wireless charger, and when they park over it, it charges the battery. Probably really, really slow, but I prefer that idea. 100 Bitcoin to not unbox live. Deal. I'll do that. How's your life? It's going very, very well. It was a little bit disappointing to get a underquoted revenue check yesterday, but that's okay. It was still more than I deserve, and I'm very, very grateful that it still allows me to do my job and to do this, which is my passion. Like I'm very, very grateful. If Apple would drop Lightning, would they need to ship iPhone with AirPods? Maybe. That's what I would want to happen. They would almost be forced to do that. But they'd more likely just not include headphones anymore, which I would hate. But again, I'd have AirPods already, so it wouldn't make a huge difference. But I would be upset if they did that. Maybe if they dropped the price a little bit. I don't know. What about solar Apple tech? Again, guys, solar isn't really good for consumer tech because, first of all, your technology is not in the sun very much. And second of all, solar, you need a lot of space to generate significant power. Like putting solar panel on the back of an iPhone would barely charge it, even if you left it in the sun face down, which most people don't do. It would generate a charge, but like slower than your 5-watt lightning. Yeah, like it doesn't work. Like there's a reason companies don't do this. To generate a significant amount of power, you need like a lot of solar. Anyway, some older Macs can't transfer data to iPhones through AirDrop, but new Macs and old Macs can AirDrop to each other. Why? There was a different format. Originally, AirDrop was just meant for Macs, and there was like an old form of AirDrop that was just a certain type of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but then after a certain amount of time, they brought it to everything. And now MacBooks and iPhones and iPads can all AirDrop from each other. But originally, it was not supported to mobile. I'm not sure why. I wonder if they could change that. I'm not sure. Should I keep the 10 or wait for the 10 Plus if you missed the 8 Plus? I'd say keep the... Well, I don't know. Maybe if you did keep the 8 Plus for another year, then the 10 Plus would be a more noticeable upgrade to you. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll mix it up. I usually always say get the newest, greatest one. But I might actually say if you prefer the form factor on the 8 Plus, stick with that, actually. And then when you get the 10 Plus next year, it'll be very noticeably different. The music on Taylosive Music is not royalty free. The person who publishes, who manages Taylosive Music, asks permission from the artist. They contact them directly. Okay, record it live. We will wait. I think you guys have spoken. This is fine. I'm excited to set this thing up anyway, so I'm going to end the live stream here, guys. Thank you for all your donations and comments. And hopefully you'll be seeing the Google Home Max unboxing in tomorrow morning, and probably see it posted on social media soon anyway. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.